It's Epic Underworlds. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys what I got up to in 2024 and what to expect for trading card games that I create in 2025. Let's get into it. So over the course of 2024, I worked on quite a few different card games. This was pretty much the year where I came back to TCGs because previously I had been into paper computer games, which are adventure games. And again, I still got into those, but that phase kind of died out and I just went all in on trading card games. So the year started off, or when I came back, I pretty much wanted to work on Epic Underworlds again. So I worked on set 3 and some other side sets. And I wasn't really feeling the digitalness of this game. It's an awesome game, and I made a ton of cards for it, but I just was not liking the digital appeal. And that made me go back to my childhood and making TCGs hand-drawn. So this year I made all these cards, plus another whole box of them, but I'm not going to be showing you those because that's for a secret project that's not yet done. But let's just say that is also coming. And then I worked on another card game, which took digital or hand-drawn art, but put it on a digital template, which I haven't shown yet, but that is coming. So yeah, it started off with me returning to handmade card games, and that started with Perpetual Cosmos. I had been playing Mobimon TCG. By the way, there's some Mobimon cards right there. Those are the ones I made. And his game was handmade, and it actually worked. You know, like people could actually play on Untap with handmade cards. And I thought that was so cool. So I went all out and made a handmade card game. And this went on my like TCG style, but added new mechanics like the Soul Trader. And it was just a really nice polished game. The only thing I didn't like about it and why I didn't work on it as much as I probably should have is because of the handmade text. When I did want to sell these cards on the Game Crafter, I felt that there'd be some complaints about having trouble reading the cards. And let's be honest, if I made one small mistake on one of these cards, which I spent like an hour on, I'd have to remake the whole thing because it has to be, you know, good enough to sell. So this game was super fun and super experimental, and I liked it a lot, but I kept swapping. I was like, well, I could do this a little better, I could do that a little better, and Perpetual Cosmos never actually came out on the Game Crafter. Okay, so then we come over to Perpetual Cosmos 2.0, which there's also 3.0 in there because I wasn't happy with 2.0. For some reasons, I worked on 3.0. And yeah, it was just back and forth me swapping on different card games until I finally found the one I'm working on now, because I was like, if I keep thinking that this game can be better, I'll never finish it, because it can always be better. But you got to become a finisher if you want to be a successful trading card game maker. So even if one mechanic or something I don't like, I still got to stick with it, and I got to keep making more and more cards for it no matter what. So this year, a big thing I learned was you can't just go from card game to card game. Even though I might have said that in a few of my other videos, you really should get one that you like, spend a lot of time planning it, don't just jump right into it, and then once it's good, just go all in on that card game. Because if you keep jumping from game to game, you will never get one out. You will never finish one. So yeah, I did make a lot of different card games in this year, in this era, but I didn't really finish a bunch and get them on the Game Crafter. So that is until I started working on my new game, which I'm super excited, and now I'm going to be talking about that because that new game, guys, is the main goal of that is to take everything you know from card games and do it differently. Now, not everything, you know, there'll be some basics like, you know, it's got to be this size. It can't just be like a cube or something. I'll still keep the shape and kind of maybe template styles and maybe a little bit of mechanics from old TCGs. But how it's going to be released is way different than any other card game is going to be released. I've never seen a card game released like this. I don't really know how it will be received, but I will still be adding a booster pack once I get a few of these things out. And of course, there will still be starter decks. I'm not going to completely skip that product. I do have plans to work on it. But the thing is, for my new game, you can only have one copy of each card per deck. So if I do make a starter deck, I have to make like 30 different arts, which I'm excited to accept that challenge because that sounds fun. But it'll definitely take me a lot longer to make a starter deck. But then again, I'm making a lot of arts a day, so the wait for the set should not take too long. And then also, I just got an easel for painting, so I thought something that would be really cool is instead of doing a colored pencil art, I could do one painting art per set, and that one painting art would be an actual painting that I did of a card. It could be an alternate art or a brand new card. And then, once I'm done with that painting, and it's on a card, I can now sell that painting. So, for any like mega card game collectors out there that are into my new game that I haven't shown yet, you can get a painting if you so wish. But that'll probably come out later. That's not really my top priority. Also, I really want to work on editing my videos more. I know this one isn't too edited. This is kind of just a little recap video of what's been happening, but I really want to step up the production, and I want to also start streaming more and doing like super chats. So if anyone donates, you can suggest a card and I can make that card on stream. So we get a little bit more interaction in the community because, live streams are fun and all, but I also want you guys to not just only chat in them, but I also want you to have like an impact on the game. So I'll also be doing a card art contest probably in 2025. Again, I don't want to hype up too much stuff. I'm not telling you everything because in case it doesn't happen, I don't want to hype you up for no reason. Don't want to pull a Frank Ocean on you. But the reason I think that it'll be fun to get the games on the Game Crafter is because those will be limited edition. And what I mean by that is after I've got enough funding from all my card sales and other things, and I go to college, I'm going to be taking all my products off the Game Crafter and trying to start my own publishing company. And what I mean by that is getting a giant printer and printing the cards myself and packaging. That'll be a lot of work, but eventually that is the plan, so I can have my own little mini card game business and launch a website and everything. So that's the overall plan. There's a few more steps. I've been trying to invent new business plans and write everything down, but yeah, you shall see. Okay, so if we step out of that room, this is my drawing area, and here, I might as well show you guys some new artworks I'm working on. This one I'm actually really happy about, but the game is going to have a lot of really good lore. I'm already planned out the first series, and after the first set drops, I'm going to be making a lore set. So I'll make a timeline and make cards based on that. I don't know if I'm going to follow through on that because, things might change, but there will be lore for the game, and it'll be really exciting.